All right, so we're back this week with a movie that's probably not a lot of people that know or even well known. I
Well, it's a
mean,
low budget movie.
well, yeah, it's a low budget movie, but there's a lot of movie that's low budgets out there, but that doesn't mean that they're not well known, like Napoleon Dynamite, and
Yeah,
Mariachi.
yeah,
But
yeah. Those are really right in our wheelhouse on this show, ain't they?
but this is called Moon. Have you ever heard of this movie before I told you about it?
No, I have not.
Really? So and
Yeah,
this
no, I didn't hear about this until you said about it, and then I went and looked it up. I was like, oh my God, it's Justin Hammer.
Yeah, so I knew you were gonna point that out.
Oh, come on.
Because
It's
I wanted to too.
I love it. I love Justin Hammer and the Iron Man too. So I was like, this
Well,
guy's awesome.
every time I think about Sam Rockwell, right, or every time I hear his name, the first thing I remember is like we're family from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That
I
is
don't
a
remember.
long time
I
ago.
didn't remember he was in that.
Yeah, he was one of those I guess punk kids in the
Oh,
warehouse.
really?
Yeah, cause
Wow.
he has that
Man,
one line like we're
you
family.
were really into that Ninja Turtles, weren't you?
I I just
I
enjoyed
think
that
you
movie a
make a lot of
lot.
you did, and that's nothing wrong with this. Just I don't. I mean, I went and saw it at the theater. I can't remember Ninja Turtles for anything.
It's
I
probably
can't
because it's
remember who
one of
that.
the first movies I've seen in the U.S. Is
Oh, okay,
that one and the first Batman with Michael Keaton.
okay,
Yeah, I mean it was in the U.S. I saw a movie in the
yeah.
U.S.
No, but I can't remember Ninja Turtles coming out near Bat. I remember all of Batman when I went and saw that, but I can't remember all Ninja Turtles. I can't even remember the actress that played it,
Oh,
April
the
O'Neil.
actress Judith Hogg or something, but like it's because I watched it recently too.
Okay, for anybody gets confused, we are doing Moon. We're just kind of taking a side.
Well, because it's Sam Rockwell related.
Yeah. No, we're talking about Sam Rockwell. This is a Sam Rockwell movie. This is almost all you
It's
see is
all of
Sam
Sam
Rockwell
Rockwell. He
and
carried
some
this
robot.
movie.
What was that robot's name? Gurney?
Gertie.
Gertie. Yeah.
Yep, and
That
but you
kid
know
can
what?
sing.
But then I guess because it's Kevin Spacey, that's the voice, right? He's technically not alone, but alone at the same time. It's really weird concept, isn't it? He's speaking
Well,
to he's not artificial intelligence. He's talking to a robot, right?
yeah, that's artificial intelligence in a way.
But that's with
Yeah, he's
limited
talking to a robot.
responses.
Yeah, well, it depends on, yeah. You're
Yeah,
talking about artificial intelligence. Depends on how far you want to go with artificial intelligence.
that's true. We talked
For
about that
most
before.
for most people's mindset, that's very artificial intelligence because
Yeah,
the robot can answer so many. I mean, even Alexa is smarter than most people. So
yeah,
so even though that there is a limited amount of responses, you just can't get to them.
yeah. You just can't get to him unless you ask the right questions. Kind of like iRobot, right?
Exactly. Unless you're somebody who just sits there and has a conversation with them, like me. Alexis doesn't do conversations very well. I'll go ahead and tell you that.
So I was actually able to go to this movie two times this week because the running time is like an hour and 30 something minutes, but we're like it's like 10 minutes of credits. So it's like the whole running time of the actual film time is like
Yeah.
under 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's
Oh.
very simple. Like what
Well,
you
it's very short for me because I watched it once and I didn't go through the credits because I didn't care.
yeah, a lot of people don't care about the credits. It's not like an
Well, I
MCU
mean, I
movie,
probably should. I shouldn't be that way, but I was like, that's all. It's okay.
It was okay. So that was my next question to you actually. What did you think of it? Besides it's just okay.
Okay. When you told me about it, I thought, huh, that sounds cool. Well, you didn't even tell me what it was about. You said, there's Moon, you got to go see it.
Yep.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be mind blowing. I thought, okay, cool. Then I saw the trailer for it. From the trailer, I was like, whoa, this is going to be amazing.
Okay.
And then we're watching the movie. I'm watching the movie. It's pretty good. And then, Sam Rockwell sees this, like, thinks he sees these people. So, okay, this is going to be good. This is getting interesting. It's just like the trailer. And then he goes and gets in a wreck. And then he's on the table, and I'm like, he's a clone.
Oh, so you knew that immediately.
Yes, and I was like, this movie's not anything like the trailer. It's not even as good as the
I don't
trailer.
think I remember the trailer. So does this movie
The
remind me of
trailer,
Oblivion?
Oblivion,
Yeah,
it's
because it's the
similar to
same
Oblivion.
concept, like
It's not as
similar,
good
right?
as it's not as good as Oblivion.
Oh, okay, yeah, I kind of agreed.
I
It's
mean,
not as good.
it's the same, but there's no aliens. Instead, it's an evil company that's doing everything.
So
And
okay, whoa. You said evil company. I want to stop you right there.
okay, I'm sorry, this company was
So
very
I wouldn't say evil, right? For
fair.
me, is a very I don't want to say correct way. One of the brilliant way because they mentioned that in the movie, like the Sam Rockwell character, like Sam Bell. They keep saying like, do you think they give a crap about us? Because who knows how long they kind of been up there, right? And in my mind, my thought process was like,
Well, actually,
okay,
you can figure out how long he's been up there because all you have to do is to see the footage of his daughter being born, and then
oh,
she's
that's right.
16.
She's
You'll just
16.
have to count it out. He hasn't actually been there that long, but they're apparently with all the clones that they find underneath,
That's
they
right. Like,
thought they was going to be there a very long time.
yeah, like the fifth or sixth clone. So like, let me get back on my train of thought. And I was thinking like, the I guess the newer version of the Sam Bear, right? Even pointed out like, why would they spend thousands of dollars, right, to train someone to do that position when they can just train one guy and just keep cloning that individual? But I guess also like the clone has a life expectancy of just 3 years.
Just 3 years, because that way he dies and they don't tell him anything.
Yeah, they just think he just think that he's going home. He's just sick going
He
home.
just thinks
Yep.
he gets sick and he gets to go home.
Yes.
But here's the problem: when you said that's not an evil company, how is that not an evil company? Let's say you turn out and found out you're a clone, so you don't have any rights.
So that's the other question I
So
want to
you're
ask you.
cattle? Are you cattle?
So I don't know. So that's the other question I want to ask
Apparently,
you.
you are cattle.
Because
That's what you
in
could
that
do.
situation, it was just luck that they found out they're clones, right? If
Yeah,
they,
it was just a slip up.
yeah, it's just a slip up.
But
Let's just say they keep carrying this
but that
hundreds of
doesn't
years.
make it. It doesn't make it right.
Oh, I didn't say this is right.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
saying like I
Okay,
guess.
well, you argued.
No,
apparently, you have stock in this company because you said it's okay.
Oh, I'm thinking in one way it's very efficient. You just train one individual
Well,
because
yeah.
I want to point
I
this
mean,
out.
I see what you're saying. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I agree with
Because
you.
I'm
But
thinking like, let's just say if I was in Sam Bell's position, right? They obviously have to compensate me. Like in a way, I'm thinking how this would work is like, okay, my clones are up in the moon, right? Because no one want to take a
But that's the
project
thing.
like this.
Here's the thing. We need to stop right here because
Okay.
we don't even know this. Does that Sam Bell that lives on Earth, does he know there's clones of him?
Oh, see, okay, so let's talk about this. In one way, let's
Yeah.
just I want to talk about
Okay.
just he knows. Let's just say I'm Sam Bell. Like I know there's clones of me in the moon, but I don't have to worry about that coming back. Because whatever the procedure is, whatever, right? And I'm thinking like, but they have to pay me because technically it's me up there. You know what I mean? They have money to pay for all these clones, but they're just really paying the original. So that way I don't have to work. Does that make sense? And I was just thinking in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you. That's a very shady way to think. You think he's
It
gonna be
is.
okay? They're up there using all your stuff. They're paying you, and they're killing you over and over again.
I don't know. That's I
I mean,
don't.
think
We
of it.
would never
It's
be
just
in that
basically
situation,
you.
right?
It is basically you. Yeah, you're not. Well, we're not. We'll never won't be in this situation anytime soon. And maybe because movies like this, we may never be in this situation.
Yeah.
But that's the
I know it's
problem
so
with
hard to
humanity.
say.
Once humanity can figure something out, they're going to do it. They don't care what the consequences are. It's like, hey, I could build this weapon that if you hit a city, it'll wipe everybody in the city out. Oh, that's horrible. Let's build it. We
Yes.
do. It's
But
called a
it's
nuclear
but
weapon.
the end of the movie, it seems like no one knew about this though.
But nobody did.
Yeah.
That's what makes it shady. To me, it seems like nobody knew because that's the thing. But was the wife in on it?
Ooh.
But here's the thing: we don't know okay, he gets to talk to his wife, or watches video recordings of his wife.
Right, because they tell them that it's a
Sam Bell
delayed thing.
never talks to a real person.
No.
He never does. The robot has.
Yes. The robot has.
The thing is, all those recorders could have been from Sam Bell's first.
The first clone that got on there.
No, it could have been.
You mean saying the original?
Real Sam Bell. He could have went up there, did 3 years for a deal, and he didn't know it. They took all his DNA and stuff and made clones, and he went home, mission over, everything's good. As far as he's concerned, they sent somebody else to replace him.
Oh, yes, that's very good. Yeah.
Because as you notice, they had this team of people go up there and wipe you out if you're not doing things right.
Oh, yeah. I guess they call it the rescue team.
But again, I guess it's okay because are there any laws on Mars? There aren't.
No, but yeah, that's the thing, right? Like how
That would be under somebody else's jurisdiction, I'm guessing.
when I was watching this and I was thinking about that point, right? And I was thinking like, hey, this is kind of like the new reboot of RoboCop. They couldn't do it in the U.S. They fixed by going to like another country, right? Was it China that they went to?
China.
Yeah.
China.
So they just basically, right? I didn't even think about the Mars. Like, the rules are like, hey, is it okay to clone people on
I don't know
Mars?
what the laws are. I think it had to be like a United Nations thing. I'm sure there would be a law about cloning people and killing them if a clone has rights.
If a clone has rights, yeah.
But we know this guy escapes and he goes back to Earth. But he finally breaks through, calls the daughter, and she's like, "Who is this? What is going on?"
Oh, it would
And
be
he's
like a younger version too, at least 15 years younger
But
than
you
the
know,
original Sam Bell.
The thing is, though, I did think it was neat. They try to throw you, but you kind of guess that they're all clones. when Sam Bell gets hit in the machine and the other clone goes and saves him,
Yes.
he sets him on the table, and he's looking around and keeps asking Gurney, "Is there somebody else in the room with you?" And they're
Yes.
like, "No." But the thing is, he knows that the guy's in the room. That's because he looks at his hand to see he's got the burn mark to make sure he's the real one,
Oh yeah.
which is probably supposed to make the audience think, "Well, he's the real one." And he's not the real one. He's a clone too. And
No,
they
I
got
think
him
yeah.
hidden.
It's just right off the bat, like a little after 30 minutes into the movie, then you realize like, oh my god, they're both clones. Or at least something is going on that's like
Yeah,
clone related, right? I mean, like,
yeah. Well, you pretty much know that when he wakes up on the table and he doesn't have all the marks and stuff,
oh yeah,
he's a
he's all
clone. And
clean.
then
Yep.
and then he wants to get in the car. They go get, and they won't let him out. That just confirms it even more. And as soon as he gets there, it's like, yeah, I already know you're a clone.
Yeah, he was just so ancient. It feels like the clone's like personality differs. Like the newer one is a little bit more hot headed,
I don't think
upset.
well, yeah, because he's been there 3 years now.
The
So the
original
new
or no, the
the
new one.
no the new one is him when he first starts off on his mission,
Yes.
or somewhere in the middle of it,
Yeah.
because everything started over for him again.
Oh.
He didn't have 3 years. Remember, they washed the walls and everything because he has all the little face things for how
Yes.
long he stays. Got washed off when he walks in there. It's gone, so he starts drawing it again.
Yes.
They
Oh.
started. So they started over for him. So he thinks he's like midway in the middle of it somewhere. But the
Oh.
problem is, as he had a temper. All of them have tempers.
Yeah, all of them.
But he learned to work on his temper while
By
he's
the
there
model.
alone. Because the other one thinks he's about to go home, so he's already worked his temper out. The
Yes.
other one's starting over, so the clone is exactly the same. It's just at different points in time.
Wow.
Just that Sam Bell that gets to go home. If he would have stayed to his 3 years, at the end of his deal, he would have worked on the model,
Yep, working on model.
and time would have been
He would learn
over.
like the ping pong thing was really interesting.
The
He didn't know
ping
how
pong
to
thing
play
was
ping pong.
the new one didn't.
Yeah,
The
the
old
new
one
one did.
did.
The old one did. Yeah,
So apparently he taught
himself how to play.
basically
Yep.
alone. Plus they had the model there all the time. Why is this model here?
The what?
The model. The
Oh
model
yes, I was thinking that like the model was there.
It's always there.
And you know what? I checked the time too when GERTY said like, you've been working on this like 964 hours. It's only equivalent to like 39 days. Like,
I know.
in time. But then,
It's like,
but it's
but
not
see,
like
the
because
thing
it's
is,
straight through.
but it's like a robot. That is a robot right there.
Yes.
He asked a question. It gave him an honest answer.
Yep.
The thing is that robot even got attached to him in a way because it's programmed to protect him. So it does what it has to protect him.
Yes.
Even, I mean, it's just probably they overlooked that. The main designers and stuff overlooked that
Yes.
this robot is going to do what he has to do, protect him, even though
Because he'd
he's
ask
not
him.
supposed to tell him.
Yes,
Oh,
Sam Bell asked him like, "Why would you give me the password?" "Oh, I'm here to help you, Sam.
yeah.
I'm here to
The
protect
thing,
you."
but apparently the robot can't tell he's a clone because he asked him, "Am I a clone?" The robot didn't say nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Change the
Yep.
subject. But
Yep.
the thing is, they are NASA and a lot of other space agencies are testing out robots like this on the space station.
Oh, really?
Well, in case something gets hurt or you're alone or something, that way you won't go nuts. So the robot talks to you.
Okay, so speaking of going nuts, in the beginning of the movie, like right before Sam burns his hand, right? I find it very convenient that his name is Sam Rockwell and his movie's name is Sam Bell.
Yeah. Well, hey,
So when Sam like burns his hand, he had that like some kind of he just saw an imagery of his wife. I
his
thought that was
daughter.
really. Oh, is it his daughter? Or some
The
kind of
girl-
woman in the chair, right?
Well,
Like,
the actress that's sitting in the chair is the actress that played his daughter. So.
oh, so that was really strange, right? Is it because
Yeah,
that's
that
when
was
the
strange.
Kong is starting
This,
to
this
be
is
defective?
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening because to me this is what made it interesting because I thought there's going to be somebody else up there with him and stuff, and then I was like, this is what it made. The trailer made it look like it was a whole different movie, and then I got this movie.
oh,
The movie's good, and I'm not knocking it, but
the trailer made you
I
believe
was
different.
led to believe that I was getting kind of a horror type movie.
Oh,
Instead, I just got an ethical movie about clones. I'm like, I already know all about clones.
so how many Kong's movies have you seen? Do you know like
Star Trek.
Star Trek?
I guess you watch Star Wars. You got a lot of clone movies there.
But not like theme like I guess like this and Oblivion, and then you said you never seen The Sixth Day.
No, I have not seen this.
But like yeah,
I've seen some other clone stuff, but most clone stuff is low budget.
yeah, huh? Like your clone, man.
Plus, I give clones a lot of thought. I mean, you never know when you might need one.
Well, that's the thing, and I'm thinking like, well, in a way, like go back to my thing. Like if if I knew it was my clone that's performing the work, right? But I get paid for it without let's me like not doing
Yeah,
anything.
but
Would you
that's
do
not
something like that?
you.
Not in
No,
the planet, like let's just say it's the exact same situation. You know what's the interesting? They say
no,
the
that's
energy
just
thing, right? Like they never talk about how that works at all either. That was the MacGuffin. It just
what energy thing.
the
Oh,
moon
the energy
produces
thing.
energy
The
thing.
energy thing doesn't make any sense,
Yeah,
but
it just
I'm
yeah,
sure it's
but
based on some science.
they just never
But the
got
thing
into
is,
it.
but the problem is, you don't need anything off the moon to make energy the way they're making energy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it just hey, we just
It's like,
basically
oh yeah,
give you
we're
this
just
to send a
we're
guy
just
up
digging through
there.
these rocks. So basically, when they're digging through the rocks, since we've already did this movie, remember Dune?
Yes.
This looks like Dune because it's got those big old machines. It looks like a combine. Now, here's what the thing is. I don't know if you know what a combine is. Do you know what a combine is?
Like what?
Cuts wheat.
Football.
It's a big old machine.
Oh, okay. No, I do
Combine.
now. Okay.
Yeah. Well, they're driving up the back of the combine. Why would you do that? It's just dangerous.
Yeah. See, I saw all those rocks coming right, and then he just
Yeah.
driving into it
Well,
like
in a combine, it's got these things that sit on the back and they spin. They throw out all the garbage too.
yeah. See, I
They
don't
call off
understand
the
that
back
part.
of
So,
it. But
but they
hey, I
never.
guess it's easier than driving to the side of it.
Yeah, they just never explain the science of the moon
Yeah, because they
energy
get
thing.
this little tube of stuff, some
Yep.
kind of hydrogen type stuff, and they send it back to Earth. Let me put it this way: if they come up with a nuclear fusion like they want to, is it fission or fusion?
Fusion, I think, nuclear fusion.
Yeah. What's that? Yeah, is it Mr. Fusion? It's on
Yes.
the DeLorean. Okay. All you have to do is get hydrogen, which all you have to do is just break down water, put it in there, boom, power everything. Why would you need to go to the moon to get the hydrogen out of some rocks?
I don't know. I mean, that's why they never explain it, so that way we can't complain about it.
I'm complaining about it though. That was the first thing I complained about when I started the movie.
Yeah, because they just talk about that, and
After I
then
saw
like,
the energy thing, I was like, "What?"
yeah, because
But
I
then the
didn't get it
movie's
either.
yeah, I was like, "This is not how energy works." And then I
Whatever it
see
is.
clones on there. I was like, "Oh God!" I'm probably gonna get a lesson on how clones don't really work
So let's go
too.
back to the moral, the dilemma moral issue. Like, so you won't be cool with that if you were the
Would you?
original Shane, and then they send like they clone it and whatever the process they do on the moon or whatever
Yeah, they're
planet they
clone.
need.
They've been torturing other me's. No, I'm not okay with that. I know
Yeah,
how I feel. I know how I would feel.
but then it makes me think like, well, how much are they paying me? It's gotta be a high figure, right? Like,
I doubt. Why do they have to pay you? How you know that they don't tell you? Oh, this program's done. Your clones failed.
or maybe they
Why
just
would
pay
they
me
have
a
to
fee
pay?
because
Why
they
would
trained
they
me.
have to pay you? Yeah, they
I
could
don't
pay you
know.
for your likeness. That's I mean, most likely that's all they're going to do is give you a payment for your
The
likeness.
lightness and I guess the knowledge. They get you paid
The
the knowledge
knowledge
that they
isn't
keep cloning. They don't own your knowledge, right?
well, I don't know because we don't really know how cloning works. As far as I'm concerned, cloning is not going to be like this at all.
You know what? It's yeah, it's not. It's just
Cloning is basically going to be like having a child, but that child's going to be an exact copy of your DNA.
except the memories and experiences are going to be different.
Yeah, he'll have to make his own because he's going to
See,
start at an embryo
that's the
and
other thing they never talk about in cloning, right? They just says like, oh, we just implanted the memories.
yeah,
Answer that question.
in theirs they have all these bodies already made up. You know, they already have all these bodies that always look at him at a certain time, and he already has all his stored knowledge at that time. I
Yeah.
guess it could happen, but that'd be more like building robots and stuff. And plus, they have Gurney. Why don't they just build a better robot? It'd be easier to build a better robot that doesn't make mistakes than clone a human. Because think of it, they clone as humans. He eventually falls apart. He breaks down. He does have delusions.
Yes,
A
psychological,
robot
stuff.
won't.
So the thing is, why would they even need a human up there?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're almost to the point right now where we don't need humans up there.
Yeah, a lot. Like let me tell you
Yeah.
something so funny, right? So I've been telling you I'm driving a Tesla. So
Okay.
with the feature, because the key fob is on me, I go to the car, right? My front driver door opens automatically, and if I step on the brake, it
What
closes
if you didn't want
automatically,
to get
right?
in the car and your door
See,
didn't shut?
that's okay. So that's funny. I'm so glad you asked that question. So this past weekend we went to the lake, right?
Or not?
I'm just unpacking, packing the car. Doesn't matter at the house or the lake,
Yeah.
and the door keep opening, right? And I'm like, God, stop it! I wish there was a way for it to know that, like, hey, I'm just unpacking the car. Stop opening the door.
So what you're telling me, Tesla's cars are actually stupid.
Yeah,
Okay,
just on
good.
that aspect. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Since I'm going on that list, right? The other thing that I don't like is there's no neutral. Like the car doesn't creep, right? Like like a gasoline car.
It's an electric car.
If you
Yeah.
stop, like even going down the hill, if you just let your foot off the accelerator, right? This thing stops. It doesn't roll down at all. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Well, if you want it to roll down, get a hybrid. Okay. Get
It
over
feels like
yourself.
I actually had to put the thing in neutral just to do that. So far, the door opening automatically sometimes makes me upset if I'm not getting into the car
Yeah, that would make me very upset. If
because
I
it's
just
like
walk by the car and the door open, let's say I was going to go get like take out the trash and have to walk by the car. I guess you better not take your key fob with you, or the door's going
see
to
that's the
open. You got
thing,
to
but then
close it.
like the door closed by itself if you walk away from it too.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
So, if you're washing the car, what do you got to do?
Well, you don't have to have a key fob on you. Oh, you could turn that option off.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
That's what
it
you
doesn't
say.
always do it. Yeah, you could
Let's
turn
do
the option
that.
off.
You're spraying the car, walk out, and the door comes open as your car washes. People are standing there laughing at you.
So like maybe I guess on this movie, right, Moon, they don't have robots that's capable because the humans is there to.
Cloning.
I mean,
What
like
the
no,
hell,
no,
cloning?
no. I mean, like the humans is there to troubleshoot stuff that the robot can get to, right?
Yeah, well, they showed that their robot's not near as smart as
Just a
robots that we
hands-on
have
human. Yeah,
now currently.
yeah.
So I mean, it's funny. Our robotic technology now is almost better than our cloning technology.
Well, I
I'd say
think
it
it's
is better than
because
our cloning
cloning is
technology.
just banned, right? That's why
Yeah,
no
no,
one's
well,
working
that's
on it.
not banned. China clones crap all left and right. They
What? They
clone
don't have no
pigs like.
regulation.
Well, I know, but they're not coming that much
What's
farther
really
than
crazy is like, how do we know that they're not cloning humans now?
they may be. I mean, look how many Chinese people they got.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to do something, but I don't know why you'd want to clone anybody. I mean,
I
I think
don't
if
know.
I was, even if I was like in China, I'd be like, we got to see it, people. Why do we want to clone anybody?
I didn't even think about this question this week, but what would be a circumstance that cloning a person is okay to do?
The only thing I could see that I can't ever see cloning a person being right, but the cloning technology I could see being useful. I'm gonna tell
Cloning
you why
technology.
I can see the cloning technology being useful.
Okay.
Because cloning technology, in order to do cloning technology, you're going to have to be able to make an embryo using somebody's DNA, right?
Yeah.
Well, you got couples, two couples. They want to. Most people want a baby. Let's say you have
A
two couples
family.
want a
Yeah.
child. Yeah, but they want a kid like you and your wife can have.
Mm-hmm.
They want a child that shares you and her DNA.
DNA. Yes.
But with the technology we have right now, you have to borrow from somebody else. But
Yes.
one of the parents is not getting your DNA. Get me?
I
You
do.
know how some people have a deal and they're like, oh, well, we'll take it from my cousin or my sister or my brother,
Yes.
but it's not your DNA. It's similar family DNA,
Oh.
but it's not yours. But with the cloning technology, they would be able to get your DNA, your wife's DNA, put it together, and it would be like having a baby, like
Like
by
naturally.
natural means. Well, yeah,
Oh.
well, it would have a child that shares both your DNA. Because the thing is, let's say you have a child that doesn't have your DNA, they get sick or something, and you've been telling them this whole time that they're both yours, and then they find out, well, part of my DNA is not yours; it's Uncle Bob's or
Oh, that's
something.
really. You know what? That's actually you actually brought something close to the subject of the sixth day. So you never seen it, right? They asked that doctor in that movie the same question.
Yeah.
So they did the example he used is not exactly like yours. So what he's saying is like, okay, let's just say I have two families or two different kids, right? One kid, I could tell him like, oh, the disease is curable on this kid, but this kid has like a terminal disease. Is it fair that one kid lives and one kid doesn't? And he was using
Well,
like I could clone that kid and I could remove that disease from ever happening in that genetically.
well, we saw cloning. You saw the Enterprise episode of cloning, remember?
See, that's the yep, exactly.
Where they clone somebody just to kill him.
Oh, well, that's more to it than that. Is because
You
he
know,
was the
they
engineer. Yeah.
yeah, well, they wanted to save themselves, and they cloned it, and that guy had to go through everything to sacrifice himself. So basically, they bred somebody just to sacrifice himself. It's like parents, they have a kid that's getting sick, so they have another kid, and hopefully that kid has the DNA to save the first kid.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not saying that's right or wrong because,
yeah.
in a way, I mean, if you're a parent, I mean, I'm not a parent, so I don't have a kid, but I can see the desperation and want to
Yes,
save
that
your
was
kid.
yeah.
I mean,
Desperation
if
is
I had a
high.
kid, I would probably do the same, even though it may be, but you get another
Wrong. Yeah.
kid. Well, is it wrong because you're getting another child and you're not sacrificing that second child? Are you?
See, oh, that's so hard, right?
But
That's
if you
so
were
hard.
sacrificing the second child, then I can see it being wrong.
Wow, how do I work that into this movie?
Well, I don't
Is it
know.
wrong? Because yeah, it's morally wrong because
Well, it's on them that's wrong because
we
all
don't
they're
know if
doing
Sam
is,
Bell knows it or not. They just
yeah, we
know
don't
that,
know
yeah.
that. It doesn't matter if it is or not. It's wrong in a way because they're making a person that only lasts 3 years.
Yeah. Do you think they
Just
did that on purpose, or
to
maybe that was the
profits.
technology at the
The
time?
thing, think about it. They're not paying that Sam Bell nothing. He gets
No,
nothing.
he gets nothing. He doesn't even
He
know.
gets all he does is sit there and works. He has this hope that he's going to get back his wife. Then he's told his wife broke up with him. That's why he's
Yeah.
there. He's never going to get. He doesn't have a life. He's pretty much been lied to. They oh, we treated him really well. I'm like, no, you're not. You're doing psychological damage to this being
To this
and
thing,
then
yeah.
destroying him. Yeah, and then you trick him saying he's going home, and then you disintegrate him. Because you saw they put him in a tube, they disintegrate him, and then
Yeah.
they vacuum him out of it.
Yeah.
What kind of? I mean, come on, think about that. If that was turned out to be you, because you don't know.
Sure.
If you were a clone made like Sam Bell in that sense, though, that is Sam Bell.
See, they had that conflict scene,
Yeah.
like when they found out about each other.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm here talking to a goddamn clone. He's like, I'm not a clone. I'm the original. And the new guy is like, the new Sam Bear is like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like the new
Yeah,
one
'cause-
accepted like immediately when he saw
because
him.
he could see him.
Yep.
That automatically knows he's a clone.
And then the old one, he has trouble adapting.
Yeah, because he never saw anybody. He lived there. He is under the impression he lived 3 years, but now this one saw himself, so he knows he hasn't been there 3 years.
It's so, it's like, for these actors,
think
right?
about-
How did you
yeah.
have that feeling? Like, I don't even know what that feels like. It's frustration.
Think about it. How would you feel if you found out you were not even real?
Probably have trouble adapting, like to understanding.
You would most likely
Yeah.
have trouble. You're just going to start asking questions. You'd ask, "Was really
How?
even your kids? Is that
Oh.
even really your wife? I mean,
Oh.
who married them first? You a replacement? They have a closet full of
so
you.
on all those questions, right? Like the
And,
new
and
one.
here's the next
or
part
even,
of it.
like ask
Now that
these
you
kind
feel
of
this
questions.
way, yeah. But the thing is, let's say you find out you're a clone, then you find a closet full of yourself. They're about to do the same thing they're doing to you to them.
Oh.
Then here's another question. You already should have known this in the movie. What are they going to do with you now?
They probably would.
'Cause now you're not
I'm
supposed to-
thinking, yeah, you're not supposed to find out, right? They probably find a
Yeah.
way to
'Cause
eliminate you.
And here's the neat thing about this movie, because in a way that shows those three pictures of those three guys, it goes, "Oh, we're going to send a rescue team." The neat thing about the movie is the way that shows the pictures. It's like you couldn't even look at these guys. You go, "There's no way these guys are a rescue team." that's
Oh
gonna fix
yeah,
something."
yeah,
They look like mercenaries.
yeah. They look like they're to clean up. Yes,
Yeah, they're there
definitely.
to come kill you. Get
Oh.
over it.
Gosh, it's so hard to answer. You know, like
Not that hard to answer. I don't know why you're on a problem. I mean, I'd have. It would be mess. It'd be hard to come to terms.
it would be hard to come to terms to think that, like, hey, am I
The
the
chances
clone?
are you're
Or-
going to want to end. Once you find out that your life's fake, you're probably going to want to end it. Not your life. You're going to want to end the program.
the program and the cycle, right? That's what
Yeah.
happened at the end of the movie.
Yeah, he wanted to end
He
it.
uploaded
makes
that
it,
information out.
Yeah, he makes it home. Yeah, he makes it home, and they're like, "Oh no!" But it's like it turns out that the company's been lying to everybody.
Oh yeah, the company has been.
See,
lying to
so we
everybody.
know
That
the
was-
company's the bad guys because see, the thing is, the company's sitting there profiting. It's basically
Did you
like
recognize? Did you
let me
recognize
put it
one
this
of the
way.
guys in the company?
Using slave labor.
No. Like one of the actors.
Yeah, Benedict Wong.
Yeah, Benedict Wong. Okay, so that
But I'm
was in the
still trying to make
credits.
a point.
Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
My point is they're using slave labor.
The clones are slave labor.
The clones are slaves.
They
They're
are.
basically people, but they're not getting anything.
They're not getting.
They're
So
doing
we
work.
decide
And
that
they're-
clones are definitely people.
Yes. Yes, I'm going to say clones are definitely people.
I don't know. I
I
think sometimes it's hard for me to agree that clones are people.
Well, we've had clones on Earth. We haven't had human clones that we know of, but we've had clones of other animals.
Of animals.
They're born the same way. They look just like their parents, but they don't have. They grow and have different experiences. Most of them live a short life.
Yeah, they live a shorter life. But then to them,
Yeah.
the animals, they don't even know anyway. That's different for a
Do
human
they?
case.
Do
I
they?
don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, is it? Yeah, it's still not ethical.
It's not, right? Is
I
it
don't
a
know. I
human
guess
being?
it depends. I mean,
Because I
there's
guess
people that argue
for
that.
me, for like a human person, right? Like a real person is, the natural way of being born.
Yeah.
But from a
Well,
clone, like I don't know. I can't. I
well, I
don't know
mean,
if
if
I
they
can
manufacture
argue.
you in a lab, I guess you're not human. But I mean, if you're born like a clone, because I mean, most likely, if a clone, if we get clones, they're going to be born.
Or created.
No, no, they're not. They're going to be born right now. How are they going to be created?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know the
Okay. Yeah,
process
I know
though.
what you're saying. Well,
Yeah.
the process is they do it and they put it inside of somebody. It grows.
Oh, you
Boom.
mean that kind of thing? I was talking about like strictly everything from a lab without human
Yeah, I know, but I
process.
mean, we already know that can't happen right now.
Yeah. Well, that's that
Yeah,
that that
that's a
solves
way
Reno.
off. It's easier just to actually put it in somebody and have a baby.
Like the embryos thing, like the
Yeah,
implementation.
that's the easiest way to clone. And if you do it that way, I mean, let me put it this way: we already see that if you have an abortion now, it's almost illegal.
Hmm.
Then why is it? Then why is it okay to kill a clone? Because it's the same thing, ain't it?
I guess like it feels like there's a
Yes, it
big
is.
like a religious reasons behind it.
Yeah, but I mean, religious reasons to tell you not to have clones. But the problem
Yeah.
is, let's say you end up with a clone. Is it okay now?
So if I let's just say I do everything myself. Let's just say no, I have no third party help. I'm a brilliant scientist. I created a clone of myself and I kill it. Is it okay because I'm the creator? Or I'm just terminating my
Yeah,
science
I don't
experiment.
know. That's another movie that should be made.
Oh, I'm so glad.
But but the thing is, yeah, but the thing is, if there's a dead body there, how are you going to explain that away?
That's interesting. Let's go down this rabbit hole. So there's just a
Okay,
dead body, right? And someone finds this dead body, like, okay.
and it's
So we're
basically you.
assuming the clone, everything is identical, right?
But
My
the problem is,
fingerprints, my
we're
blood.
saying that you made a clone just like yourself
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
at your age.
Yep.
It didn't grow up.
Okay. Yeah, it
Even though
didn't
we
grow up.
know any clone is probably going to grow up.
Yeah. See, I always thought that if you make a clone, right, yeah, you have to wait 42 years from now to this day I
Yeah,
created it to
we
be
would have
me.
to.
But
That's what
then
I'm
when
saying.
it feels like when they clone stuff, it's like he's only 38
Yeah, it's always in the
immediately.
movies. It's always that way. But the chances are that ever being possible is never.
Yeah, yeah, because that's from what we've
It's
seen,
the
right?
problem. Here's the problem: is they could make you a clone body like that already. They could probably transfer. Eventually, they'll do head transplants or something, or brain
Ooh.
transplants.
So you need to see. We
And
need
is
to see
that
the
going to be
island.
illegal? Is that going to be illegal? So basically, you
So
grew
are you?
another
Hold on,
you.
hold on. Let me get this straight. You're asking. Let's just say I have a clone double, and then let's just say I have kidney disease or something, and I'm able to
Yeah,
take the kidney from my clone double to transfer it into me.
yeah. But that's the thing. They're thinking about clone. They've even thought of this about cloning bodies
Body
without
parts, yeah.
brains.
Yes,
Yeah,
without brains.
cloning. And I'm cool with cloning body parts, but I mean, is it okay to clone a whole body without a brain? Probably so. It's kind of
But they have to
weird.
make some way to keep it alive, right, without the brain.
Yeah, but you could do that. You hook it up to machine yourself, I'm sure.
So that would be
It's,
okay without
I'm
a
thinking
conscience.
3D.
That's what you're
I'm
pointing
thinking
out.
3D. I'm thinking 3D printing would just be the way of the future, and just let's let the
So
cloning go.
cloning is the 3D moisture part.
Yeah, I mean, basically they print 3D parts, and they could probably print it with your DNA.
So
So
hold on, now I want to get this clear. So if they are able to clone without a conscience, you're okay with that? I'm okay with cloning body parts too, because right now a lot of
yeah,
people are.
I'm okay. Let's put it this way: I'm cool with the cloning the body parts. I don't know. I think cloning the whole body is a bit much.
Oh, just body parts. Okay, okay. And you know what?
But
I
yeah,
I
maybe like,
agree
oh,
with you there.
I cloned a liver, I cloned a kidney, I
Yes, to
cloned a
save a
heart.
life.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Yes,
that.
I'm fine
Well,
with that too.
I mean, I could see that. That would be easy.
That would
I
be
mean, because you're
better.
just making you're basically building a
A part that
flesh
save,
part
yeah. Because right
that's
now,
built that's built on your DNA.
yeah, because right now people are just waiting for organ donors, right? Just to save their own life,
But the
and then
problem is, once you make a human, though, somebody can use that human for something else. Because
yeah.
what laws apply to that person? Basically, like I said, it's just slavery again.
Yeah, there's no laws applied
Because
to
that person may
clones.
not be counted as a person. If that person not be counted a person, you could do whatever you wish to them.
So it's kind of like Blade Runner with
But
the
the problem
replicants.
is, would you like somebody doing whatever they want to somebody who's just like you, with the knowledge you know of yourself and your life and what you're capable of?
Okay, so
Would you like somebody using your clone of you as a slave?
do I get to be part of this thing, or do like
Do you get to abuse yourself?
I want to say I wouldn't care
Wow,
because it's not
wow.
me. It's still
Yeah,
very selfish, right?
it's not you, but it is you. This
Yeah, it's
person's
so
gonna
weird to say that. It's not me,
this
but it
person's
is me.
gonna think is that, but you gotta remember this person's gonna think and feel everything that you would feel.
Oh, it's so hard to say. It's so hard for me to say
Basically,
because I'm not that person. Like
you're
whatever's not
not
happening
that
to me.
person, but this person is you. I mean, you're looking at somebody. You're if you see him get kicked, you know how it feels. If you
Yeah.
see him being treated horribly or being abused, or you're gonna know how it feels.
I don't know. I feel like if I
And you
created,
wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want that done to you.
I don't know. For me, right? If I created a clone, I would like to fight myself. To think
Well,
like,
probably
okay, so
here's
because on your
here's
thought,
the
like
problem.
you
It's like
just
people
said, hold
go
on,
through.
hold on. You just
Okay,
said that I know how it will feel, right? So if I'm coming out, like if I clone myself and I'm fighting myself one on one, it feels like none of our hits would connect because I wouldn't know how to attack myself and I didn't know how to counter myself. Does that make sense?
to a point.
Yeah, to a point. If you were like, but I'm gonna try something off the wall, right? Then I'm like,
I mean, you're gonna know a lot of stuff, but your timing's gonna be different.
the time is gonna be
He's
different.
gonna know if you're gonna punch or kick first.
Yeah.
He just knows what he would do, and which most likely would be what you're gonna do. But
I don't know. It
I mean,
feels like
come on.
if I could create a clone and torture that clone, I feel like I feel like I'm okay with it.
But here's the thing about clones, though. You got a clone, though. Aren't you worried the clone might be jealous of your life and murder you first?
I don't know. Would that be in there, or
That
would I
would
be
probably
jealous
be
of the
it.
clone? Like, well,
Are
this
you a
clone.
jealous person? Well, that's the thing. Are you a jealous person?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah.
So because I'm thinking like,
But
okay, you're
but what if
thinking
the
of that
clones?
way. Hold on. I want to do
But
the opposite of that.
let
Uh,
me see that you saw somebody have. Okay, this is how you know if you would do this. Let's say that all of a sudden you see somebody looks like you and he has your life. Would you want that?
no.
So you're just gonna go off and go do something else now?
Heck yeah. Like that means like
There's,
a freedom, right? Like oh,
there's some
suddenly I
guy.
got
Yeah,
freedom.
there's some guy sitting at
See
your house talking to
that
me.
that was what I was
Listen,
thinking of.
so you
If
would
that
just be
clone
like,
wants
okay,
my life, right? Like, hey, go ahead. Let's trade spots. Let me go on vacation for a few years, and you can take care of these kids or whatever. Sometimes the
oh
people have that
God,
escape plan.
oh God, I'm starting to worry about you, man.
Because, hey, you know what? Sometimes I think about all stuff. Not like, murder my family and things like that. Like, wouldn't it be nice to have a break? Because you might not know how that feels, but like, oh,
You're right. I don't know how
yeah,
that
it's
feels.
so that's why I'm
It's,
thinking like, hey, if
it's
that
weird.
person's jealous, like, you know what, you you might think the grass is greener on the other side, right? So it feels like I'm giving my clone a chance to walk a mile in my shoes first before they can think like, oh, they envy, you know?
Okay, well, I'm just saying, there's a clone that took your life, and you just like, okay, whatever, you can have that life. I'm going.
Yeah, because like a lot of times in stories like that, the when that situations happens, you're trying to get back your life.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm
that's the
always
thing.
thinking like the other side of
And
it.
that's the thing. You wouldn't try to get back your life.
Yeah,
That's
and I'm
the
like, no,
stuff.
okay, I'll see you guys later.
Okay,
Movie is
all
over.
right. Wow, wow, that's a. We can't take this road any further because
Because
you laughed.
I was like,
I'm already talking to your clone now.
you might be. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, it
And
would be
nobody will ever
nice
know.
because the other thing I think about clones is obviously they still need the same nutrition your body needs, right? Like food and things
The
like that.
clone's you. That's the problem. You got to remember the clone is basically just you
So
again.
sometimes I'm thinking about like, well, if I have a clone, now I gotta feed this person. It's like both of us would have to work,
Yeah,
just to eat,
yeah. But the
basically.
thing is, you probably get farther in life as you can work with your clone.
Yeah. Let's go back to that murder thing I was talking about because we
Okay.
got away from that. Let's just say go back to the thing where I'm the brilliant scientist. I clone myself. I kill the clone.
Okay. Okay.
Detectives
What you
come and
see?
find my body, right? Without knowing
Yeah.
like cloning is possible. That would be the weirdest situation ever. I mean, because twins, even though twins, they share similar DNA, but they're not the same person.
They're not. Well, yeah, but they're not the same. Yeah, you're right. They're not
But
clones of
now
each
in
other.
this
Twins are not.
case, but
Yeah,
now in
you
this
got
case,
the
this is like a
Zambie.
whole different movie, right? Like we found Lamb's DNA, but he is still right here looking at me, talking to me like, I don't know how this body got here.
But you're going to jail though because you just killed
Would
something.
I? I just killed
Yeah.
somebody with my DNA, but then if they test my DNA, they'd be like,
It don't
what the
matter.
hell's
You
going on?
just killed somebody. They won't know. I mean, come on. They're gonna not. That first thing they're gonna do is see it. You
I,
killed somebody. They're gonna take you to jail,
I
whether
just thought
it's
of
you or
something.
not.
I just thought of something. I'm just gonna cheat life insurance money that way. I'm gonna buy policies for myself to a third party, Sam Chu.
Right. That's awesome.
That is right.
I don't know what to say. No, it's not really awesome. It's just nuts. That's what that is. That's just crazy, man.
I'm just thinking about how to use clones to my
I know
advantage. recently.
I know, and I'm sure after anybody else, if we
I'm
have an
way
audience,
outside this square.
yeah, if we have an audience, I'm sure there's tons of other people sitting here wondering
like,
how they could cheat
what?
the system. What if your clone doesn't go along with it?
They would never know. It's
Well,
kind of
here's
like
the
the
problem.
Prestige, right?
But here's the problem.
Am I the man
it's-
in the box?
You
Yeah.
are, you're a clone.
Am I the man in the box? I don't know. Or I'm out on the other side.
Well, you will know. That's the problem with cloning. You'll know. But the problem is, what if you get a clone and the clone already has your idea and takes you out first?
So just whoever's quickest straw, right?
Because he already knows. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be like the Prestige. You better hope that you're the one that's standing next to the pistol.
I'm so glad we're going back and forth on this. So when I make this clone, right, I gotta make him in shackles. Not just free form, just hanging out.
I would make him in a tube, okay, and not let him out.
Yep. Exactly.
But you better be careful on how you have to clone yourself, because you may find yourself in a bad situation. Could be like the Prestige, because remember the Prestige? The original falls in the box of water, and the clone appears somewhere else.
Yes.
And he lives, and the original dies.
Yeah, so
there's a TV show, Doctor Who. There's actually a Doctor Who, in a way, an episode like this, where Doctor Who he appears, and you think that he just beams into this place, and he walks around, and he gets killed. Well, he tried to get out of this prison. It's like a prison he's in.
Okay.
He breaks the glass a little bit. He dies.
Ooh.
All of a sudden, he forms again, like a clone, and he does the whole thing again, and it just goes the whole show. He just keeps being rebuilt, and then dying, and he was in there like thousands of years before he finally escapes.
Wow, but that's
it's a pretty interesting.
Because it sounds like a time travel thing instead of cloning.
Well, the thing is, he never gets to time travel because actually he lives maybe a few days. He's destroyed, formed again a few more days, and time just keeps going constant.
Oh, constant.
But each clone breaks a little bit more of this glass-like stuff to get out of this prison he's in.
Whoa.
This is an episode. I gotta find this episode. You gotta watch this episode. You don't need to know anything about Doctor Who. You watch this episode.
Now I'm thinking, if I have a time machine, go back 1 hour earlier. Did I just clone myself?
That's not really clone. Well, I guess you could technically, if you're there and you see your future self.
Just
you
1
gotta
hour.
be in the same deal. You're gonna go 1 hour back, but you both got to be in the same deal. So in a way, by the definition, there's a clone of you.
Yes, there's two of you.
I mean, but you are actually not a built clone. You're an exact copy.
I'm an exact copy.
Yeah, I'm thinking even if you clone somebody, I'm sure there's going to be some differences. Even as you grow and develop, there's always breakdowns. Various cells in your body are going to break down, and they're not going to be the same breakdown.
That's right. You're right. Okay, so that's one.
But if you time travel, everything's going to be
the same. You're right. So if I clone myself right now, right, the new clone version had never had cancer. I had cancer. He never had. He would probably may not have the side effects of cancer, because unless I duplicate that.
Yeah, it depends on how you. Yeah, well, if you duplicate, he's going to have everything you have, but he's never going to actually have gone through that. He'll just think he did.
Oh my gosh. Whew. He just thought they had the trauma. But that's only if I implant the memories, right? Like that's the part of the cloning thing.
If you built it. But the problem is if you're actually cloning stuff by our standards, you can actually already fix a lot of stuff. Like
medically?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
It'd just be like having a child, though. You just want to share your wife's DNA. It'd just be another you. And several years from now, I mean, he'll probably look like you.
Yes. So funny when you say my wife's DNA. I thought about that Louis C.K. joke. Sometimes I don't know if you heard it, right? He's like, he looks at his daughter and like, oh, this person has my DNA. This is like a copy of me, my child, right? Then I look at my wife like, who the hell is this stranger? I guess I don't share any DNA with this person. My child is different.
Right. But his child does. So.
It's like, who's a stranger in my house?
So basically, it's two links.
It's two links exactly. Wow.
While your clone will just be one link of you.
Yeah,
See,
my
but the
clone
problem is, if anybody was to think, oh, well, I'll just have clones to have kids. The problem is, your kid won't be an improvement.
won't be. So you think that if I
I
have a
mean,
clone and a clone has a kid, is that my child?
no. Well, no, it won't be your child. It'll be your clone's child.
Wow, but I thought my clone would be everything that I feel.
It is, but the problem is the clone is now another person, and then that child's a whole different person too. They fell in love with somebody else, or whatever they did with somebody else, one night stand, whatever. But they have a kid. It's not you. I mean,
Wow.
that's what your kid would have looked like if you were to hook up with the other person.
It's the same person, right?
Yeah, but that's not you. You didn't hook up with that person, so
Oh,
that's
you know
not your
what? Now
kid.
I have so many questions for a scientific community because they do stuff like, okay, let's just say I have a clone, right? The clone have a relationship with, like, Lady A, and then they have a kid. My clone and Lady A have a kid. Then let's just say the
Okay.
original also get with Lady A and have a kid also.
Yeah, the kid's gonna be different.
So that's what I want to see. Like, how different are these two kids going to be?
Well, their hair color. This thing is. Do I have to, do we have to do science class? I mean, do we have to do health class right here? Did you not pay attention to health class?
No,
Because I
I
mean,
want to hear you explain it.
okay, well, when y'all do the thing,
Please.
different amounts of DNA get transferred.
Yeah,
And
different. Yeah.
sometimes the one kid may get dominant. Some your weaker genes may become dominant. Like your eye color may change.
Yeah.
Your other and the other one in the kid, because that's why you're. Well, okay, let me put it this way: you got Lady A twice already.
Okay.
Two of your kids aren't the same, right?
Oh yeah, two are the same. Not the same.
They're not
No,
the same because
the
what
features are
genes
different. Yeah.
what genes were and but y'all are the same people. You
Yes.
haven't changed. Your wife hasn't changed, but both your kids are different.
Yeah.
Same thing with you. Your dad, your mom. You're not the same as your sister. One of y'all became a female.
No, we just the thing that we have is like we both look alike. People think we're twins a lot.
I don't think you and your sister are twins at all.
Oh, there's some people thought me and my sister were twins, man. It's because that's only because we both look like our mother. So that's
Right.
like the thing, yeah. But I see, like, some of my cousins, like one look like the mom, one look like the dad. So I see what you
Yeah, well,
mean.
that's
Yeah.
but like I was saying, you got two different. You didn't get two
Yes.
clones. You didn't get, and that's the way it's going to work. Because one set of dominant genes may be dominant or may be recessive.
Yes. Exactly.
Let's say you get married, you're with somebody that has blue eyes. If you have enough kids, one of them's going to have blue eyes.
Oh.
It's just going to happen. Let's
Okay.
say when your son marries a Chinese with Chinese genetics,
Yeah.
they're still carrying the blue eye genes, and they could come up
Well,
somewhere
blue
later
eyes.
in the deal.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, of course, they'll be like, "Are you cheating on me?" And be like, "No, man. Are you cheating on me?" I mean, it's the way it works. It's just that's
Yeah.
the way it works. I mean, you don't need to talk to the scientific community. You just need to go back to health class and get your health book and read that thing.
That's true. But I think the clone thing might. Yeah, the clone thing won't
The
change
clone is
much.
going to be different because basically it's the same as you. So the kids are never going to be the same.
Yeah, the kids will never be the same. That they share a lot of the same genetics, I
But the
guess, in a
problem
way.
is with cloning though is why would you want to clone yourself? Because the problem is you already know what your genetic code is. Let's say if we clone you, most likely he's going to get the same cancer you had.
Oh, interesting.
But if you mix your genes with somebody else, their dominant genes may solve that problem, and they may not have that problem down the road.
Huh. So
It's like
basically,
it's
my
like let's
sons
put
are
it.
kind of like a cloning of myself
Yeah,
in a little bit.
yeah, they are a clone of yourself, but they have
Other
extra
people's
set of
DNA.
DNA.
Yes.
They have another person's DNA, not other people's.
Yeah, another person's DNA.
But that's the thing. It's like let's say you have diabetes and your wife don't have diabetes. The problem is you have a kid, you have a chance of them having diabetes, but
Yes.
you have a 50-50 chance now.
Oh
But if you
yeah.
make a clone of yourself, it's gonna have it.
Yeah, it's 100%.
But the thing
Unless they
is,
figure that out.
but the problem is with cloning technology. I'm not saying to clone people, but I'm saying they should investigate cloning technology because cloning technology is what's going to lead to be able to fix problems like diabetes and so
Yeah.
forth before you're born with it.
Yeah.
Even though I do think they did learn a way to fix it, why people have it currently. since we can all develop it by crap we eat anyways.
Yes, but yeah, exactly.
But I mean, cloning could help. But I wouldn't say cloning something will help, but learning
Cloning would help.
about it. Plus, it also gives maybe it'll give science more ethics, which it wouldn't hurt to have. Like, come on, cutting a monkey's head off and then putting it on another monkey, and then watching it freak out and die. That's just wrong.
I had never seen that.
Oh, well, they do that kind of crap.
Just to
I
see
don't think
if
they
it
do it
works, right?
often. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to do head transplants,
Head, yo,
say,
yeah.
so that they can clone bodies and take your head off when you're supposed to die. Put it on
So
your
that's
body.
a weird thing. They cut off a head of a monkey and put
They
it on
tried.
another.
I don't know how far it went. I read an article on it, and they may do it because it's illegal. So they may do it somewhere else in another country. But they did it once, and it lived for just a few seconds or more. And from what I understood, it was they could tell it was in excruciating pain.
Oh wow.
So, but I mean, they did face transplants on humans.
Yeah,
But
face transplants.
I'm for anything that makes our lives better. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what you want to do.
longevity of our life.
I can't see actually making a clone of a person.
No, you and I
For the most
highly
part.
agree on like if you could clone a body part to save a person's life, I say you should go
Yeah.
and do it.
You could use technology to have children to help people
Yeah,
that can't
children,
have
yeah,
children.
yeah, that
children.
too.
I mean, that would allow two couples to share DNA.
You know,
And
you and I share like the positivity, right? You know, if someone's gonna
oh
use that
yeah,
same
well that's
thing,
probably
and
why we're friends. Me and you
yeah.
share a lot of
I mean,
ideas.
someone's gonna clone somebody, right, and do evil stuff just to have
Well, I
an
mean,
alibi.
the problem is you get a clone person. I can't see how you're doing it. I mean, the only thing I can see, but I mean, I'm thinking you're going to hurt that person. As well.
Oh,
You're
you
holding that
are.
person. Because let's say we clone somebody. Because I'm curious. Let's say if I made a clone of myself.
Okay.
When he gets to my age, how much like me is he going to be?
Oh, I think we
I would
asked
like
that
to know that.
before.
But the problem is, I already know who I am. I already know it. When he gets to my age, he's going to be pretty ticked off and come looking for me. Because he's going to be like, okay, so I'm basically a version of you stuck in another time.
Yes, and a futuristic time, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be in his other future. And he goes, and I got the same problems you got, but my problems are worse now because my DNA
Oh,
didn't advance with the rest of the world.
you bought. Oh my gosh! So sometimes I feel like, what if I was my son's age as I am my personality?
Exactly.
So let me tell you something. I bought 2 Xbox Ones today
Wow.
because,
High roller.
well, I bought them used like 125 each.
Okay.
So
You bragging?
no, I'm not because like me
Okay.
and Heather were like, we're trying to guess. So let me tell you my dilemma.
Okay.
So you've heard of the game Roblox, right?
Yes.
So both of my boys play it, and I'm like, I don't want to pay for this game, but it's free. Roblox is free if you play from Windows. The problem is that Windows requires drivers. I plug in the Xbox One controller, right? But since it's a computer, you can still use keyboard and mouse and all that. My boys are actually pretty good at using the keyboard and mouse of the computer, but sometimes they can't figure out like the controller's not working. And I haven't messed with this to know like why it's not working, right? And it pisses me off just trying to figure out like how do you work this thing? I don't know what's going on. I press escape. I trying to do this, nothing is working. So I actually talked to Heather about this problem, right? Hey, you know what would be easier? If they're just playing this game off the Xbox. Xbox. That's the only reason. And Heather's like, well, try and find a cheap one. It's because like it wastes a lot of my time just trying to troubleshoot this stuff.
Yeah.
So we figure it's easier to spend the money to buy an Xbox, just an Xbox One, so they could download the game, and that controller problem will go away. There's so many problems. Like I try to figure out like I'm gonna try to spend some time to see why they have this issue. I never spend that time.
Yeah. So basically, you're a person that's never going to make a clone because the way that you tell me the story,
Yeah.
and say there's a problem with you, you're just going to get another personality that doesn't have any problems.
Yep.
To be
I'm just
another.
trying to eliminate that problem.
Yeah, it's like I already know the old lamb don't work, so we're just gonna go get a lamb
Yeah.
from 2.0 or
Yep.
gonna-
That's not gonna happen. Nope. It's taking too much of my time.
we're gonna get any number.
The other thing is, remember, I'm really good with computers, right? I mod my own system and things like that. Remember the original
Yeah.
Xbox?
Yeah.
You could do the same to the Wii U. Okay? The
Okay.
Wii U, you could put like the entire library of Wii U games on the Wii U. If
Okay.
I was 22, I would have done that. But I'm not 22. I actually pay money. I send my own Wii U system to this guy, which I
That's
pay
22.
so he
Yeah,
could.
that's
I don't know.
22.
So he can do that stuff for me because I don't have any time for any of that stuff. I was just telling Heather like, actually, you know what? It's cheaper. It costs like $240.
So what you're telling me is age and money has made you lazy.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess we're kids.
How
If
does
there
that
was
have
no
anything?
kids,
How does that have anything to do with cloning?
oh, I'm just talking about like I have no idea.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess.
You know
Okay,
what? I
well,
could relate it to clone. If I have another clone, right? Maybe I could just tell. I could feed the clone easily, like food and whatever, right?
yeah.
He doesn't have to work. I could tell the clone, hey, you know what? Mod this for me. Figure out what the Roblox controller problem is.
Yeah.
Then he can do the research. It feel like if I have a clone, right? It's just the time that I don't have to do the stuff for. The clone can do it.
Yeah, you're right. But the clone might decide he doesn't like to do that. He wants to do what you're doing and tell
See,
somebody
that's the
else what to
thing.
do.
And I'm thinking like right now, I wish I have a clone just to do this.
Because you got to think, your clone's going to think exactly like you're thinking right
Yep.
now.
And
So
then,
he's probably going to get even with you.
or it's either even or we work out some kind of system. Hey, you know what? I know. What about sometimes you go to work for me and I'll do this stuff? We could trade off
Yeah.
because
Okay,
like
see,
I
that's
feel
what I'm
like
saying.
I want that well balanced thing. Like sometimes I would like to divide
Well, you
the
probably do it.
attention
I
for
think it
research.
depends on the type of person you are.
Yeah, it does.
You know, if you're somebody that really likes yourself, then a clone's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt you.
No,
If you're a
yeah.
person that doesn't get along with or doesn't like yourself already, you
Oh
don't want a clone
no,
because
I would divide that time
you're
because
going to
sometimes
resent your clone
sometimes
too.
I get into it. Sometimes I don't like. No, I don't want to do this now. But I wish I do. I just wish I have the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Well,
just
I'm
really
sorry.
depends on the
But you
individual.
ever see that movie Click?
Yes, with Adam
You
Sandler, right?
know, yeah, you don't want to fast forward through your life.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't want to
We
fast
see
forward through
how
my
we
life.
saw how that ends.
Yes.
So
I
you
only
don't
seen
want to.
that one time.
That means you don't want a clone doing your stuff for you. You're just gonna have to take. You're just gonna have to send your video game system to that 22-year-old sitting in his basement somewhere and
Yeah,
have it
dude.
fixed.
It's awesome having someone to do that for me. Like me and Heather even talked about like, well, actually it's cheaper because I either have to waste a lot of my time.
Hey, why don't you teach one of your kids to do that?
I feel like this generation, right, is not like us when we were young. We are trying to figure out
You know why
what to
this
do.
generation's not like us when we're younger? Because we're not investing any time in them.
Wait, say that again. We're not putting in what?
Because you're not investing any time in it. Maybe you should show your kids how you could do this, and they might go, "I'll just do
Oh,
that."
so
I know it's hard.
it
Okay,
is hard, like the time
but the
commitment
problem
and
is,
stuff.
but that's the problem. That's how stuff happens. If you don't, it's like people go, "Oh, the kids don't know how to work cars anymore." I'm like, "Well, did you actually show them how to work on a car? Because if
Yeah.
you showed them, they might like it." I mean, I didn't know how to work in a car, but I saw my dad do it, so I'm like, if he can
Oh,
do it, I
you know
can
what?
do
A
that.
lot of stuff that I like to do, like putting the model calls together. No one told me
Yeah,
how to do that, but I just enjoy doing that
you
myself.
just enjoy it too. But the
Like
problem is
putting
your kids.
Legos together. Oh my god, I have such a great time putting Legos together.
Who
Like to
does it?
this day, I
I mean,
love putting Legos together
you'd have to be some kind of psycho if you didn't like putting Legos together. You
because
know
I
what I
feel
like?
like
I
yeah,
love putting Legos together too. But you know what I don't like about Legos?
what
Cost.
yeah the cost. It's like
Yeah,
that's
they're
really funny though.
extremely expensive.
Sometimes the
And
print
plus, then
is
you end
too
up with all
hard.
these Legos that you don't need anymore. It's like, okay, I put them together. I don't really need them now. And I'm
It
not one of
just.
those persons just going to tear them all up and
But
put
then at
them
the same
together
time, I
again. I'm
feel
like, I
like
already built that. I'm not gonna do
what
that.
if my kids don't like to do that kind of stuff?
What do your kids like to do?
Playing video games, watch YouTube.
You did that when you were young too.
Well, I never get to watch YouTube at their age. We didn't have
Well, that's
anything like
because it
that,
wasn't invented yet, but we
Yeah,
invented it, so we're going to go on.
yeah. I mean, I still like to watch
YouTube's,
TV and movies and
YouTube
stuff.
has been around. Yeah, we all both love watching movies,
I
and
love
they like
watching
watching.
movies.
I don't know. Maybe it's just they're too young. Maybe that's stuff that come around later.
Well,
Your kids play
my
with
oldest
Legos,
like to
anyways.
play. I mean, like my oldest like to watch movies now.
Yeah, well, I mean, they build Legos too.
Yeah, just building Legos. I don't think they have the patience. It's so funny, right?
Eventually, they get it. Okay, they eventually develop. Trust me.
Yeah. My little clones of myself are little the a-holes that are walking around my house
Yeah, because they're clones. Because they are clones of you.
without
I've
a
met you.
filter. Without a filter, like
What
thought
do you mean
process.
without a filter? I knew you when we were younger. You had a filter. What are you talking about, dude? Just recently, even kind of developed one. I'm not even sure you really got one. You probably just got one because we were talking on YouTube. Come on, dude. You try to shake my hand at the restrooms in front of everybody. That's just weird.
Sometimes I find stuff funny, and I just want to try to do things like that.
Yeah, you do. It makes a lot of other people around us uncomfortable.
I do. I do that to this day. I told you that story a few weeks ago at the bank. I told you about that, right? The drugs and prostitution.
No, you didn't. I didn't talk to you last week, remember?
Oh, not last, but I never told you that story.
No, you never told me this story.
So I'm gonna tell this story.
Go ahead, I want to hear this story.
So Heather's grandparents passed away. We came into some money. We'll be able to pay off our house, right? So at the bank, we went to the bank a couple of weeks ago to, hey, we want to go ahead and pay off our mortgage. The lady is an older lady, and she said like, "Oh, that must be so exciting. You can see how much money we have and how much a mortgage is because we tell her like, hey, we're paying this, and it's like, oh, must be so nice to pay off your mortgage so young, right? And you guys have still quite a bit of money left. What are you guys gonna spend it on?" And this is what I said: I'm gonna spend it on drugs and prostitutes. Like, right in front of the teller lady, and Heather was like, "Oh my gosh." But for her benefit, the teller lady didn't hear what I said.
Oh.
And Heather said, "I'm not allowed to repeat it again." And from which I responded like, "How the hell does she know that I'm not talking about like ibuprofen at my age?" And she's like, "I can't believe you said that." Then I told her like, you know why I said that is because a few years ago, right, I saw this clip on this guy, right? He looks like a redneck. You could tell he looks like a redneck, right? But he won the lottery.
Yeah, because he probably was.
Yeah, he won the lottery. So the news reporter is like, "Hey, congratulations, sir. Do you have any idea what you're going to do? Spend your money on?" And this dude just straight up said on TV, "Hookers and drugs."
They're going to laugh.
No. Like, his face was super serious. Like, you could tell,
I'm sure he's still messing around.
Like, so I thought that was funny as heck. When I saw it, like, if I ever had the chance, I'm going to say the same thing.
Well, you
and I had the chance to say the same thing. Yep.
And nobody heard you until
Nobody
now.
heard it except for Heather. This is terrible.
Well, hey, I know that. Hey, no, everybody, all America gets to see this. Hear your story now.
Yeah, I think like my sister is the only person we told her that story, right? My sister said the same thing I did. How do you know that my brother's not talking about Tylenol or something like that?
Yeah, but how you gonna explain the prostitution part, though?
I know, but no one ever questioned about the prostitution part. Hey,
no,
you don't know what I'm spending on
that's
prostitution.
the sad thing is everybody questions the drugs part.
Yeah, drugs part, right? They don't question about the prostitution. Like, even if they ask, you know what I'm going to tell them? Like, hey, a lot of prostitution is like, hey, $100 for whatever you want. I'm like, well, can you just mow my lawn? Like, you said whatever you want, right? Hey, I just want someone to play Player 2 with me while I play the Super Mario Kart. Can you do that?
Yeah. I got the classic Nintendo. Could you play the Rob the Robot part?
Yes. Can you do that? Like, everybody think about prostitution, just sex.
I know. What's wrong with these people?
Like, hey, I'm about to play the remake of Resident Evil 2, and it's a lot scarier than the first one on the PlayStation back from 1987.
Hey, remember I played that with you, so what do you say?
Like, can you just sit in the room so it's not so scary? See, if I had more money, I would actually do weird stuff like that. Like, so you don't want sex? No, I don't want sex. Can you just sit here while I play Resident Evil 2? Because my wife want to do something else.
Yeah, I think something's gonna happen to you.
Like,
I'm gonna see you on the news.
Remember when you and I was helping you move apartments and you had your wheels in the closet, and all I wanted to do is just roll them down the stairs?
Yeah, I keep my wheels in the closet, everybody.
Well, because you didn't want to toss them. You didn't have a garage.
I still didn't toss them, but they're not in the closet.
Oh no, I mean, like, what I wanted to do is just roll them down the stairs because I want to see them.
Yeah, you did. Yes, you did.
I still want that to this day.
Well, let me tell you, go take the wheels off your car and roll them down the stairs.
I think I'm just gonna buy someone's spare tire to do. How much is a spare tire?
I'm glad you have a lot of money because when you hit something, somebody's gonna sue you.
I'm gonna have to go to an abandoned warehouse so I can see this myself. It's
that would
funny
actually be
because
awesome.
With the physics, right? I know what it's gonna do. By the time it hit the second or third step, it's just gonna bounce right off the stairs. It's not gonna roll down perfectly.
Are we sure? It may just roll and fall. It may fall. I think it's gonna fall over.
Oh yeah. If then I'm
I
gonna
think
have
it's
to
just
keep
roll,
going.
fall over, and then slide down the
Yeah,
stairs.
just slide on. I think that too. But like the other
I
thing
mean,
is, I want to see that.
unless it messes something, it's not going to bounce. If it went over a lot of stairs and then hit it, then it's going to bounce. Go
Yeah,
off.
it's you have to hit a lot.
Now
Yeah.
we got to go to the warehouse and do it.
The other thing I want to do is that.
And this is how Mythbusters was formed.
Yes. Like I wonder what will happen. Well, let's try it out.
Let's try. Let's get us another TV show and cancel this one.
Yeah, see, that's the things. These things live in my head rent free all the time. Like, I
Well,
wonder
I
what
think
happened when I do this.
they run free in everybody's heads.
Yes, they do. Like dumb
But
stuff.
when they're kind of bloody and stuff, those people are called psychos.
Oh yeah, like yo.
Yeah, you don't
Ooh.
go there. Don't go in that
Nope.
neighborhood.
No, let's not do that. Well,
I'm walking by an alleyway in my head one day, and I was like, I heard some voices, but I kept on walking.
well, you know what? With that one, I'm going to end it right here, and then we'll come back with another episode next week. Thank you guys for watching, and
I'm sorry.
Thank you for watching this segment of our reviews. I hope you had a great time listening to us. Be sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one. Laters.